Good evening and welcome to Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh, then and now. I'm Amritpal Singh. This is a show that we bring you every evening at 6:30 p.m. on DD News and DD India, where we take a stock of where the two union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and the union territory of Ladakh have come in the past 1 year. Today is the 5th of August. It was this very day last year in 2019 that the special status of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir was revoked and two union territories were created. The Article 370 was abrogated, 335A was changed, and the special status which they had got under the Constitution of India was revoked by an act of Parliament and then by the proclamation by the President. Once the Parliament voted on it, the idea was that the impediments it was bringing in the road to development, in how corruption was there in the state, how the services and the programs of the government were not reaching to the common man. The argument advanced then was the idea of democracy at the grassroots levels will get strengthened. In this program, we take a stock of where have we come, how much distance have we traveled, how far down the road have we come, both in the union territory of Ladakh, where it has been a long spending and a long standing, it was a longer standing demand for creation of a separate UT, which they finally got last year on this very day, on the 5th of August in 2019, and also Jammu and Kashmir, which became a union territory from the erstwhile state. Let's begin the show. So as we were saying that it was this very day last year that this special status was removed, and people in both the union territories, first let's talk about Jammu and Kashmir, they celebrated the first anniversary of the abrogation of Article 370 and 35A and the revocation of the special status of the erstwhile state. It was celebrated both in the Jammu region and in the Kashmir Valley. The celebrations, which were purposely kept low-key due to the ongoing pandemic, were held by hoisting the tricolour in each and every mandal, booth, panchayat, municipal ward and district of Jammu and Kashmir.
5th August is a day of great joy and pride for the people of Jammu and Kashmir. After a long struggle, Article 370 and 35A were abrogated last year. Article 370 and 35A gave birth to a new J&K. The Valmiki and Gorkha communities, as well as refugees from Pakistan, had been waiting for this for many decades. But today they are happy. Their dreams have finally been fulfilled.
आज तो ऐसे है कि जैसे हिंदुस्तान आज़ाद हुआ था, वैसे ही आज हम ये समझ रहे हर्षोल्लास से कि ये समझ रहे हैं कि हम आज आज़ाद हुए 1 साल हो गया।
खुशनुमा माहौल और जो संविधान के दायरे में जम्मू कश्मीर जो भारत के साथ जो जिस दिन मतलब अलायंस हुआ था, तो सही मायने में देखा जाए तो वो आज ही का दिन था जो 1 वर्ष पहले था।
Holding the tricolour in their hands, people of Jammu and Kashmir say that today is a historic day for them. They have got freedom from corruption, poverty, inequality and injustice. Today, each and every household, village, block, tehsil, district celebrates the first anniversary.
धारा 370 ये एक अरोड़ा था डेवलपमेंट के नाम पे, ये बिल्कुल एक हुडविकिंग था यहाँ के कश्मीर के आवाम के लिए। और धारा 370 हटाए जाने के बाद माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक जो मन की बात है, कश्मीरी के मन की बात है, वो बिल्कुल उन्होंने मतलब एक हिसाब से स्वीकारा है। और धारा 370 हटाए जाने के बाद जो यहाँ पे विकास के कार्य हुए हैं, जो यहाँ पे लॉज हुए हैं, जो अमेंडमेंट्स हुई है, वो बिल्कुल सराहनीय है।
गाँव जाकर वो डेवलपमेंट करेंगे, बाथरूम बनेंगे, सड़कें बनेंगे, रोड्स बनेंगे, ब्रिजेस बनेंगे, तो हम नरेंद्र मोदी जी के बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं, उनके बहुत मशहूर हैं। उन्हें दफा 370 खत्म करके आज हमें जो सुख मिला, चैन मिला।
धारा 370 हटने के बाद अभी हमारी कनेक्टिविटी हुई है। अभी हम जो भी जितने भी हमारे ये थे सब खत्म हुए हैं। हम युवाओं को मतलब और अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली है कि हम कुछ आगे के लिए और कुछ कर सके। हम चाहते हैं कि और आगे आने वाले दिनों में हमारे कश्मीर के युवा और आगे कुछ करने की इच्छा रखेंगे।
The youth have a clear picture of a bright future. Women have equal rights and opportunities. There is a clear roadmap for development from village to city.
यहाँ के लोगों के लिए रास्ता अच्छा मतलब साकार हो गया है कि यहाँ का रास्ता खुल गया है। यहाँ के लोग जो है मतलब इनको मतलब इतनी सुविधा नहीं मिलती थी, लेकिन जब से ये दायरा हट गया तब से इनको बहुत अच्छी तरह सुविधा मिल गई है।
कश्मीर में दिन पर दिन बहुत डेवलपमेंट होते हैं। क्या है ना, आजकल अगर हर किसान के अकाउंट में 2-2 हज़ार आता है, उस टाइम सारे किसान वाले जाते हैं बैंक में, क्योंकि ये पूछता है कि हमारे अकाउंट में पैसे आ गए हैं।
After the amendment of Article 370, 890 total central laws have come into force. 164 state laws have been repealed. 138 laws have been modified. Under the largest recruitment drive, 10,000 recruitments will be made in the first phase, followed by a pipeline of 25,000 recruits. Road to an incident-free, fair and peaceful Panchayat election has been made to strengthen grassroots democracy. Panchayats now have the charge of monitoring, implementing and execution of subjects as per the 73rd Amendment.
The first anniversary of amendment in Article 370 is being celebrated in Jammu and Kashmir with full enthusiasm, and that is because the way youth is getting new opportunity of employment, new avenues to show their skill, their talent, new startups, the way women have got equal right in property and other places also, the way grassroots democracy has been strengthened, panchayats have been strengthened, and the way local bodies elections have been conducted, and awam's common man's share and participation has been ensured not only in politics but in policy making also. They are very happy. They are saying that Jammu Kashmir is integral part of India and Jammu Kashmir is crown of India, and they are seeing the brightest crown, the more shining crown in the coming future. With camera person Saurav Shukla and my colleague in Jammu, Neeraj Singh, this is Rama Tyagi, DD News, Srinagar.
So that's how the people of the valley and the Jammu region celebrated the first anniversary of the abrogation of 370 and 35A by hoisting tricolour. They expressed happiness, enthusiasm and a hope for a better future. There is one community that could not be could not be happier by the revocation of the special status, and that is the Valmiki community of the Jammu region. This report tells you how the story of change and development it has brought to them. Take a look.
This is Valmiki village of Jammu. People living here for decades have immensely contributed in making Kashmir a paradise on earth. But they have been insulted for decades and never got appreciation for their contributions. They were crushed because Articles 370 and 35A were in effect and they were not given citizenship. Now, after the abrogation of Article 370, they may be given the citizenship. 23-year-old Radhika did not realize her dream of serving in the BSF because she was not a permanent citizen of Jammu and Kashmir. She had passed all the tests but was rejected in the absence of the permanent citizenship of Jammu and Kashmir. Watching her father work in very tough conditions, Radhika thought she would secure some employment after studies so that she would become the support of her family. But PRC shattered her dream. But now she can go ahead as the Article 370 is removed.
बीएसएफ के लिए अप्लाई तो मेरे पापा को हमेशा से था कि मेरे बच्चे फोर्सेस ज्वाइन करें, तो शुरुआती जैसे हुई तो मैंने बीएसएफ के लिए अप्लाई किया। फिर वहाँ पे फॉर्म वगैरह लेके उसके बाद मेरा फिज़िकल टेस्ट था, फिज़िकल टेस्ट को क्लियर किया। उसके बाद हमारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स चेक हुए, डॉक्यूमेंट्स में उन्होंने बोला पीआरसी नहीं है, तो पीआरसी की वजह से उन्होंने मुझे रिजेक्ट कर दिया। ये तो चलो फोर्सेस के लिए अप्लाई करना था, हायर स्टडीज जैसे प्रोफेशनल कोर्सेज भी हमें अगर करने पड़े अगर स्टडीज़ में, तो उसके लिए भी पीआरसी मस्ट होता था जम्मू में, तो वो भी हम नहीं कर पाते थे। अगर किसी को बिज़नेस में इंटरेस्ट था, वो बच्चा वो बिज़नेस भी नहीं कर पाता था, और कोई गवर्नमेंट जॉब के लिए हम अप्लाई नहीं कर सकते थे। तो ये तो बदलाव है ही, क्योंकि जो जनरेशन आगे आ रही है तो उन्हें अब वो नहीं झेलना पड़ेगा जैसे पिछली जनरेशनों ने झेला है।
जब वहाँ जाते थे जॉब मांगने के लिए तो वहाँ जॉब नहीं इनको मिलती थी। मैं एक अनपढ़ आदमी हूँ, मेरी भी यही कोशिश थी कि मेरे बच्चे कहीं फौज ज्वाइन करे। तो मेरे को इतना नहीं मालूम था कि वहाँ भी पीआरसी में वहाँ भी पीआरसी ज़रूरी है। तो मैंने बच्चों को बोला, बच्चा ऐसा नहीं तो ऐसा करो, तो वहाँ भी पीआरसी। मैं मोदी साहब का धन्यवाद करता हूँ जो मैं थोड़ा सा रोशनी की किरण जागी है।
There's another story of the Valmiki community. For the last 20 years, Ram Singh, who has been a driver, never got the salary of the driver due to the sections 370 and 35A. He was only paid equal to the cleaning staff. Thousands of people like Ram Singh have been facing such an insult for decades, but 5th August brought freedom for them. The union government abrogated the special right, Article 370 and 35A, and changed the status of the state.
हमारे अपने जीवन में इतना बड़ा बदलाव आया है कि हम गुलामी की ज़िंदगी जी रहे थे, अब हम तो आज़ाद ही हुए हैं 5 अगस्त को ही। हम तो सदा यही 5 अगस्त को दिन मनाते रहेंगे। ये मोदी सरकार ने हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा काम किया है, जो हमारे डोमिसाइल मिल जाएगा। अब हमारे को आस है कि हम ड्राइवर की पोस्ट ले सकते हैं।
स्टेट सेलेक्ट ना होने के कारण हमारी होने के कारण हमारी जो उम्मीदें थी वो मिट्टी में दब गई थी। अभी 370 टूटने के अलावा उसके बाद अभी हम डोमिसाइल जब मिलने जा रहे हैं तो हमारे लिए, मेरे लिए, मेरी कौम के लिए, मेरे भाइयों के लिए, हमारे वाल्मीकि समाज भाइयों के लिए, जितने भी हमारे बरादरी मेरे भाई साहब हैं, भाई बहनें हैं, वो हमें एक उम्मीद जाग गई है कि आने वाला जो समय है तो हमें ड्राइवर का ग्रेड जो मिल सकता है। जो बच्चों का भविष्य आने वाला वो भी हमारे लिए बेहतरीन होगा।
The Valmiki community's dreams have got wings today after spending decades in slavery. Never thinking of a job above a cleaning worker, Ekalavya is now filling online form for a bank officer's job.
रिसेंटली मैंने अभी जेके बैंक में अप्लाई किया है, जेके बैंक एसोसिएट के लिए। बहुत बदलाव आया, क्योंकि हम पहले जब किसी भी जॉब के लिए अप्लाई करने के लिए जाते थे उसमें पीआरसी मस्ट था, तो इसलिए हम अप्लाई भी नहीं कर सकते थे। सिलेक्शन होनी या ना होनी वो तो अलग विषय है, एग्ज़ाम के बाद ही पता चलता है कि आप करेंगे या नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन अब हम अप्लाई भी नहीं कर सकते थे। अब हम अप्लाई कर पा रहे हैं, तो ये भी हमारे लिए एक बहुत बड़ी बात है।
Every household in the Valmiki community living in Jammu was struggling with similar problems. They were settled here in 1957 and it was promised to them that they will be given all facilities and be made a permanent resident. But this never happened. People used to say that the sun can rise from the east, but Article 370 cannot be removed. But Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government broke the chain and abrogated the special rights granted to Jammu and Kashmir.
पहले तो हमें कोई नहीं तो नौकरी मिलती थी, किस वजह से? स्टेट टैक्स से। हमें जो मिलती भी थी सिर्फ सफाई की, और जो सफाई की भी मिलती है, हाँ वहाँ जो कोई सुपरवाइजर जो कोई बनता है कुछ हमारी बरादरी में से उठ के, तो उसकी सैलरी है जो वही जो आम आदमी की है, यानी कि सफाई कर्मचारी की है, वही मिलती। तो मोदी साहब के बहुत शुक्रगुजार हैं, उन्होंने जो हमारी बरादरी के लिए किया है, वाल्मीकि कौम के लिए किया है, हमारे सभी भाई बंधुओं के लिए किया है, जो भी किया है, बहुत अच्छा किया है। जो अब आने वाला समय है हमारे लिए बहुत अच्छा है।
डोमिसाइल की वजह से और भी बच्चे खुश हैं, सभी ज़्यादा खुश हैं, हम भी खुश हैं। और साथ में चलो हम तो सफाई का काम करते थे, बच्चों को बहुत शंका रहती थी इस बात की कि हम पढ़ लिख के भी हो सकता है हम भी झाड़ू मारें, लेकिन हमने तो झाड़ू में बिता ली, लेकिन अब बच्चों को नहीं झाड़ू मारने देंगे सर।
In 1957, about 272 employees were called from Gurdaspur and Amritsar districts of Punjab. Today, the number has reached 2.5 lakh. The entire country may be celebrating Independence Day on 15th August, but the day of their independence is 5th August, when the Modi government removed the discriminatory Articles 370 and 35A. Neeraj Singh's report, DD India.
So that's the sort of change that is coming around with the revocation of the special status. People who did not have permanent, who were not permanent residents, could not get jobs, could not go to higher educational institutions. With the change, with this change, that's why they call it historic change, are now seeing the hope of a better future. Another sector which has been touched is the healthcare sector. One of the biggest healthcare schemes in the world, Ayushman Bharat Yojana, aims to cover more than 50 crore Indian citizens, and it is now helping the people of Jammu and Kashmir cover most of the medical and treatment costs and expenses. Here's a report by my colleague Ashok Srivastav.
Srinagar's Mohammad Rafiq is a paper mache artist. Paper mache, which is Kashmir's folk art, is slowly moving to the verge of extinction. Rafiq, who once used to earn well from his art, is now striving hard to make a living. With reduced income and everyday life a struggle, Rafiq's health deteriorated too. All his savings were spent on his treatment, and amidst all this, he also got a heart attack which rendered his family helpless. But to rescue came the Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. The scheme not only helped Rafiq get his operation done and save on money, but also gave him a new life.
मुझे हार्ट अटैक हो गया है 2009 में बाद में मैं सो रहा हो गया वहाँ इलाज उन्होंने कहा आपको बाईपास सर्जरी करनी है ओपन तो हमने मतलब उस वक्त वहाँ नहीं किया है पर फिर मैं गया हम बाहर दिल्ली वहाँ किया मतलब 2011 में तकरीबन ईम्स अस्पताल में तकरीबन 8-10 लाख वहाँ खर्चा हो गया उस वक्त जो कुछ था वो ख़त्म हो गया उसी वक्त 2019 में हो गया तो उन्होंने बोला है आपको मशीन ही लगानी है तो उस वक्त आयुष्मान का कार्ड मेरे पास था उसी के ज़रिए हमें उनको मदद से मिल गया है ये machine उन्हीं की through.
Ayushman Bharat Yojana has not only helped Mohammad Rafiq but also helped other people in the region and has approximately benefited over 65,000 people with free treatment.
जो आयुष्मान भारत है उसका लाभ कई लाखों लोगों को यहाँ पे मिला है और मुझे अभी जो ऑर्डर रिसेंटली एलजी साहब ने पास ऑन किया है कि ये जो स्कीम है ये हम लोग पूरे जम्मू कश्मीर के निवासियों के लिए लागू करेंगे। इससे एक बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट होगा हेल्थ के ऊपर। जितने खर्चे होते थे कोई गरीब लोग होते थे जिनके पास पैसे नहीं होते थे वो भी जाके आज लाभ ले सकते हैं। उसके साथ साथ जो अमीर लोग हैं जो अपना स्वास्थ्य का खर्चा उठा सकते थे उनके लिए भी अगर गवर्नमेंट करी है तो वो पैसा बचा के अपने बाकी कामों में एजुकेशन में या किसी अच्छे सोशल वर्क में लगा सकते हैं।
Understanding the need and importance of this scheme, the government in December 2018 had announced a free medical insurance for 5 lakh rupees for all citizens of the region. Ashok Srivastav's report, DD India.
And let's talk about the other union territory, the union territory of Ladakh. Young Ladakh is celebrating its first birthday of it becoming the Union Territory. It was a long pending demand, a long struggle took place for that. Special, understandably, there were celebrations, special cake cutting with dressing of aspirations and hopes marked the day. Our correspondent Vishal Baristo brings you this special report from Leh.
Today is the first birthday of UT of Ladakh, and I have with me some very enterprising young women who are celebrating this day. They are from the restaurant, tourism, and also into textiles. Talking about your profession, how do you see things changing, and how have things changed for you in the last 1 year?
We have seen a lot of changes, especially in terms of promotion. Last year we went to Delhi and Mumbai under the name of UT Tourism, so there was a lot of attraction, tourism attraction. In future we are hopeful that there will be more influx in tourism, and also we are focusing more on sustainable tourism now.
Let's talk to another woman. She is Jigmit, and let's talk to her. She is into what?
So I have a brand name Namza. It has two sections, couture as well as the restaurant part. So I run it with my partner Padma. She's the designer, and so the couture section we deal with handloom industry, our local textiles, so which helps us promote our own local textiles on both state as well as national and international level. So, and the restaurant part, we have our, we promote our own local Ladakhi cuisines. So, where tourists come and they relish our Ladakhi dishes. And so, yeah, it's a good.
So what's so special about today?
Today, so we are celebrating 1 year of getting a union territory for Ladakh. And we're hoping it gets better and better with time.
Yeah, hopes to get better and better with time. I also have a youngster, and she has a hope. She needs a job. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Like today we are celebrating the first anniversary of UT Ladakh, and in that I hope the aspirations of the youth, especially the unemployed and everyone, the promises that have been made, like the land security, the job security, are fulfilled. We had an unfortunate scene like the pandemic corona that caused, like, and in 1 year, like, we are following uncharted waters, so everyone needs a way, but the aspirations of the youth really has to be fulfilled, and I hope that comes soon.
And why not? Because the challenges are always there, and we need to take on the challenge. So let's talk to another lady. She is very vocal for local, and let's talk to her. How do you plan to take on the challenge? The young spirit of Ladakh would definitely take it by the horns.
So like actually, like as I've said before, I'm really hopeful for this new administration because I belong to the textile industry, and I feel that the textile industry is going to go forward. Like I see a bright future for at least my industry, but then there are other things like environmental protection and job security and all, which also like we have been promised, and it has to be taken into consideration.
It's a long road for development because UT Ladakh is just 1 year old, and definitely they are all prepared to take on the challenges that pandemic has thrown upon them, but then the hopes are always there, and they are all very hopeful. With cameraman Sanjay Jaina and Kamlesh in Leh, this is Vishal Baristo, DD News.
So it is this hope for the future, for a better future, for jobs, for employment, for being in charge of their own destiny, to chart out a route for their own state, because Ladakhis have always felt there has been a feeling that they were discriminated against. They've long lived in the shadow of Srinagar, and they did not get their fair and equitable share of resources, despite being the biggest land area of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, because their population, their numbers were less. They did not receive either equitable financial assistance, they did not receive enough jobs, they were discriminated against, connectivity did not improve. Yes, the terrain is difficult, but they say that they were basically not in charge of their destiny, and now they feel that now they can make their own decisions and be in charge of their future. So we bring you these reports, as I said, every evening on how far has the UT of Ladakh and the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir has come in the past 1 year, as we celebrate or as we mark 1 year of the revocation of the special status of the erstwhile state. We'll continue bringing you there. That's it from me for the moment. We'll be back tomorrow evening, same time. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.